Oh, that's Wyvern. That's a really good call.
I'd be okay with Wyvern, Sand King, or... Okay, so they take the SK. It's a bit more of a playmaker, and you need teamfight right now. Like, you need guaranteed stuns, because your offlaner... Like, that's the downside of having Nature's Prophet as an offlaner. He's so unique in the sense that he doesn't come with the stun. So... TP now.
Seconds.
Yeah, we got to start thinking about an offlaner. This is something I really like the Nature's Prophet pick for Pasha in the last match, because Pasha he's a very, very gifted core player. He struggles sometimes on the primary initiator, so they're going to go ahead and commit to the Dragon Knight. That's probably going to be your mid laner against the Queen of Pain. That hero, it's the book on it is that Queen of Pain's going to win that lane, but Dragon Knight can hold his own. There was a game, though, pretty recently where mid one played a Dragon Knight and just dumpstered a Queen of Pain just before TI. I think it was at the Summit that really made me rethink the potential. If there's a roaming support like an Ogre Magi, if you can get some support from the Wisp, that Dragon Knight can take advantage of the instant Dragon Tail stun and actually have some kill potential on the Queen of Pain.
Here's the Radiant ban.
So if I'm Rd2 right now, the Darkseer's been banned.
Yeah.
I'd be looking towards heroes like, I think Doom's quite good here. Doom's got a lot of potential as well.
They don't necessarily have a great lineup against the Brew.
Choose your hero.
So it probably is okay. Yeah, Timber, one of the heroes that can really punish those Wisp combos and can help kite the Sven.
Not something we've seen so far.
I mean, there's 3 melee cores on the other side. It's not a hero that you see often because it's not often you see 3 melee cores on the other side. But just a bunch of strength heroes.
Yeah, Rd2 want to get up close and personal, I guess, in this second game. Will, what have you made of the draft?
I actually really like Newbee's draft. I think that Rd2 might be the better team. Actually, I'm almost certain they're the better team, but I think Newbee has a better draft, so I'll go with them.
Yeah, I agree. I think the last couple of picks by Newbee, they picked a lineup that they're really, really comfortable with, and I think they're going to be able to force the action.
Are Newbee able to bring this one back? They are a game down right now to Rd2. Can they pull it back to 1-1? Save them in final, or are Rd2 about to make it the first team through? Let's find out as we head back to your commentary team of ODPixel and Melina.
For battle.
Very much, Red Eye, and here we have Game 2, Virtus.pro, Newbee. Game 1 ended in a bit of a bang, very sudden sort of crumbling of Newbee, and VP were able to secure that win. Game 2, very different drafts. We're seeing things switch up. A very interesting final pick there from Newbee, the Timbersaw, and it's looking like a pretty spicy game for a Timberban.
I love the Timbersaw pick here. I am a little bit concerned similar to last game about how are they going to actually do this late game, but Timbersaw solves so many of their problems versus core strength heroes, or according to 0 and 5.
I mean, he's a big guy, that Ogre, but as you said, he's a smart guy.
You're just role-playing as Ogre. It's okay. I understand.
I was the...
30 seconds to battle.
But they'll keep the control on this bounty room with this play by looks of it, forcing Moogie back. And we'll see what sort of lanes come out from VP if they want to switch things up, turn anything aggressive. Is there any sort of matchup that either side needs to avoid? With that Timber in mind in particular?
Looking at the matchups that they would want to do. I mean, they're all about even, right? You're going to be able to strength hero in either lane as a Timbersaw. I think early game you might actually struggle a little bit just because you might not be able to like play too much versus the early haze, but I think he should get CS at point. How many times has Moogie played Timbersaw?
As we've seen, Moogie this game playing the Timber and SCC playing back, sort of heroes that I feel at least are not necessarily the most common pickups for them. Lil.
Only because of scaling issues.
He can't really go for that. It may be on the way back. He knows that it's making the trip. How careful are Newbee going to be about this one, Lil? not going to look to move in position where he knows that he's actually needed in the mid lane because no one's been getting gone on by Faith. SCCC and Kaka with the stun from Kaka. That's going to be your first blood. They just walk in and take it. Lil, maybe because of that courier snap opportunity he was looking for, couldn't quite get there in time to provide the save that no one needed.
I don't know if he would have had a courier. The best courier sniper.
Pretty nasty name for no one, especially at this early level. Being level 1 against these heroes is not fun as the DK. Very hard for him to get in for the CS. He's got the brief fire though, and it has got a hefty creep wave moving in on him. And the XP, as we see, being split much more by Newbee, having 3 heroes here in comparison to, at the moment, just the 2 on VP. Bottom lane, KP being chased down by Lil and Ramses. He'll be able to get himself out of there. Mid lane, Solo's not going to be as lucky. This aggression from these 3 heroes of Newbee really just stepping up the pressure in this mid lane, and VP, they're struggling to deal with it. 2 deaths in 1.5 minutes in this mid lane for Virtus.pro.
And sometimes having a big creep wave is really bad for your team, actually, especially if you don't have a good way to clear it. They just got dove because of so many creep waves at the tower. And they're going to have to worry about KP TPing in soon, too.
Yeah, absolutely, these mid lane skirmishes could get even nastier for VP. As we see again, just Faith's harassment along with the dagger from the Queen of Pain, making it so hard for no one to get involved at all in terms of farming.
Already a poor matchup, I would say, for the Dragon Knight, but I mean, with the brief fire change, it's not that bad, but with the Bane sitting there, it's awful.
Yeah. No fun at all here. He is still getting CS out of it, as we can see. He's got 7 at the moment, but SCCC, of course, does have the advantage, as expected, with the backup that he hasn't. Oh, look at this. This is so... But Kaka's got an Invis rune. This could set something up again if no one's not too careful in that middle lane. We'll see if they can find a chance to jump in on it. As they're making the go, Kaka goes in with the Burrow Strike. He's pretty tanky now with the 2 points in the Dragon's Blood, and does keep himself alive because of it. But just this consistent harassment on this DK.
Chicken's kill.
Nice.
Hey, yeah, KP. He said to look out for the TPs, and he does make it. Makes it happen.
Well, that will make the lane even tougher for Noah.
No one's got to be careful. He can't tilt. He's got to keep his cool. But there's definitely
the guy stream. Come on.
But everything is there to make him tilt. Newbee know that they just want to put no one mentally off his game.
I don't really see him tilt though in professional games though. He's actually pretty resilient to that.
As I was saying earlier in this major, just out of sort of individual player performances, I think at this LAN, no one is for me definitely up there. He's had some incredibly solid games here in Hamburg. If there's any questioning about that. And Newbee know that. That's why they're going full in on him on this mid lane. This time he'll have Solo to back him up. No one. He's going to tick down low, but the Dragon's Blood regen should be fine. He's got a Fairy Fire as well, so Dagger won't quite kill him, but he's just keeping him zoned back. He's got the salve, so will still be able to remain in the area of the experience.
That should tide him over until 5, where the Shrine and the Courier should kind of coincide and help him out even more. So Pasha did go for the early point in Drunken Haze.
Look at this wraparound from Kaka. Yeah. We know he's a bit of a beast on the tanking. His movements are always on par. Have they got the burst to bring down this brute? They'll chase him down. Drunken Haze buying him some time, but he should fall here as they've got the slow from the Caustic. Mugi cuts him down with the Whirling Death. And Newbee picking up a third. These movements, these plays from both Kaka and Faith, they're cool to stay in the mid and then to make these moves up top. It's certainly having a heavy effect on the laning phase. And Newbee are getting that edge. We heard what KP talk about it on stage, how crucial the lanes were, and how in some matchups, Newbee, they do struggle early on. So in this game too, and to be fair, at the start of game 1, they seem to have rectified and focused on those issues, and they're looking very hot to start things off. Bottom lane, KP in trouble though, as they move in with the stun. Solo with the rotation will catch out. And Nature's Prophet, VP getting themselves a kill on the board.
The only nice thing that's happened for them
this
game thus far.
So
Pasha actually, like, not only did he go for Drunken Haze, he also was kind of doubling down on it too by going for Soul Link as well, the Brewmaster. So it's an unusual build, I would say, especially versus Timbersaw, who can just spam his Whirling Blades if he wants to get CS, and it actually hasn't really hurt him at all if he wants.
No one's got to be careful. Yeah, SCCC going to jump in on this. They've got the TP from KP coming in as well. He's got the damage, he's got the control, sprouts out. Salve will be popped, but the second dagger flies in. Lil, he's got the tether, and that will be enough to keep no one alive. So at least Lil's able to make the save. But again, this is time that no one is just miles away from that middle lane.
They would love to get the Courier kill too, but just not quite close enough. This lineup also has not been particularly great at hitting towers. Two of their cores are actually pretty terrible hitting towers. The Queen of Pain and the Timbersaw, especially sieging high ground. So I'm a little bit worried for that, even if they do.
Look at Kaka's positioning. Moving in from behind. He's going in with the right clicks. He's got level 3. He's got the point of Sandstorm. He's actually in a bit of trouble here as Lil turns up. Do they have any sort of detection or AoE? They do with the Breathe Fire. They'll cut down Kaka. Getting a little too greedy with that positioning, as he underestimated the potential of VP being able to turn that one around. Normally he's very on point with his plays, Kaka, but that one was a little questionable.
Well, I don't really think it was that question because I don't think he expected the Dragon to come out too early. He actually he skilled it at level 4 or 5, I believe. Especially when he's struggling this much, you usually don't look for the stun. So you can just farm more with the Breathe Fire. I mean, sometimes you'll get it defensively, but yeah.
Dragon's bottom tower won't last long.
Top lane Mugi definitely able to play much more aggressive now with that level 6 has to slow to the Chakram, buying time for Kaka to close the gap. Burrow strikes there. That's the movements we expect from Kaka, and once again doing it on this top lane, taking down Pasha.
This Timbersaw is going to be a big problem though. Like, they don't have great magic burst at all. All they really have is like a Sven to chop through his enormous amount of tankability. I guess they can just cyclone him in fights and worry about him later, but he's still going to do it.
Especially going to be an issue for this heavily punished DK. No one again. Being chased down. SCC's here has a DD. He needs help for DK, and he's going to get it. Solo's there. That will, for the time being, at least put Newbee off jumping in onto the Dragon Knight. They may just look for Solo instead. Bottom lane, Ramses and Lil chasing down. KP will get the kill. Kaka and SCCC should be able to finish off Solo with the dagger in him and the double damage still up on that SCCC's what?
And they revealed the stack too. Ogre kind of came down right after the 7-minute mark. So he's up to, and Sanking also went to the right to chase him. So they have very good eyes on the stack. That's something you might consider blowing the Sonic Wave on.
Oh, look at this. They want to go. The brain sap. The stun from Kaka. That's going to be no one down again in the middle lane.
What a great block from KP. Oh, sick. Even tower.
Yeah, really done. Sometimes we see just going straight away with the Sprout, but he lands down the tree and gets the kill. Now the return play is going to be there. Pasha's trying to lead him with the Primal Split, but Kaka just gets stunned up. This Ogre in a lot of trouble. Lil's going to come in looking for the save. Is keeping Solo alive. For the time being, no, Solo will fall. But they are able to find the pick when they get Quap. Cost them both the support's lives. VP, they want to get more out of this. They may just Pasha lands the clap. Breathe Fire onto KP, but Kaka's Burrow Strike holds back the DK. KP gives us space to TP out. He's going to make it as well. Kaka still has the Sandstorm. Burrow Strike back him in a couple of seconds as well as one charges. He should be fine, and he will. Gets out of there. So VP able to strike back in the sense that they get the Queen of Pain, but it's still costing them kills. And now they know Ramses is on his own down bottom. SCC's hunting. He's going to hit level 6, and Ramses, yeah, TP's straight out away from the tree line. He cannot play around with that level 6 Queen of Pain on his own.
That's probably what Will echoing the courier. I think he died there and just kind of left it there. So this is nice. At least they get this big stack. Looks like Kaka's actually going to be able to leech some XP.
It's going to be nice if he can stick around in the AoE.
Yeah, he knows what's up. Oh my god, he's like getting so much XP. There are 3 Virtus Pro heroes in the...
A little bit counts. He may pay with his life for it though. As the stuns stack up, and it's there. And with the stick charges and Burrow Strike, Kaka's going to live. Very nicely able to play his way out of that. As KP comes in with a Sprout. He's buying a little time for Kaka.
Look at his gold too. He has 1600 gold on that Zank. He hasn't really been farming at all, but he's very high net worth. He does not look like this before.
He's just been so active. He's 4-1 and 3. He's been in 7 of the 8 kills. This is, you know, the Kaka Sand King that we know and love.
Well, the highest win rate and the most games. Oh no, this is the highest win rate.
That win rate is 74% on a hero. That's incredible. And it's as expected. I mean, over the patches, the years, no one DK. That is his best hero. That is the hero that we know he loves, and we know he loves to play it. He certainly shows it the way he plays it. And to be fair, regardless of the pressure that has been put on him on the mid lane, he's still getting the experience is good. It's just the farm that's incredibly lacking.
Unfortunately for him, he has to, like, they have to give Spend the stacks too. So normally you would just, you know, get level 12 whenever, farm huge stacks in the game. So they can still farm that, so Lil should be prioritizing stacks as he has been.
And that's the thing as well, because the pressure was there for no one, Ramses has had an absolutely free game so far. He's exactly where he wants to be in the farm, so he gets the ancient stack. So sure, a little bit of the XP gets soaked up by Kaka, but overall, the pace of farm's great for Ramses.
And he has Bloodlust too on the DK, so that will boost up your net worth by a good 30%.
This Invis ring could set up a plan to Kaka if they get the stun into stun. And they should have the timing perfectly. Damage with Lil. Should be enough with the spirits flying through. Kaka tries to play his way out there. He goes for the TP, but he is not going to make it. VP will punish Kaka.
Excellent spirit control from Lil. Lil's actually very farm too. His net worth is 8, but it's actually very high as 8. Because there's a big drop off after. Or so. 536. He has more HP than gold, dude.
It's the classic Salah. Well, as we've seen before, he doesn't need gold. He doesn't need farm to do a lot for his team solo. Very good at playing in a position where he is normally starved for gold levels. And still yet to really see Mugi show his power with the amount of net worth he has, but that will almost certainly change once he has that Bloodstone complete, which is pretty much there. But just needs to get that recipe done. And then things are going to get very tricky for VP once Newbee group up as 5 and start to look for these team fights. They've got a great amount of team fight. That is where their strengths lie. If the game goes on, the farm game is going to be hard to play against Ramsey Sven. But the fighting in this sort of early to mid game portion could get very rocky for VP. They're smoked up. They're looking for the opening. They get the Fiend's Grip off before the ultimate comes out, and that will be Pasha gone. Quick and clean kill for Newbee. Nothing that can be done in reaction, even with the recent patches making that cast animation a little shorter. Not short enough for Pasha there. Fiend's Grip was there immediately.
And Kaka did kind of kill steal that, but all in wait for his blink dagger. Courier kill, there was much on it.
And it was empty, but still, a bit of gold for the boys, and Mugi off the back of that courier kill should have the gold for the Bloodstone. Yeah, it's just 100 gold away, so Bloodstone's going to be there as well, as you said, blink dagger on Kaka for the next fight.
So Virtus.pro are waiting for Newbee to do the thing that they were actually worst at, which is taking down objectives.
Yeah.
Very terrible Roche lineup, very terrible at pushing. So Virtus.pro want them to waste their time doing these maneuvers that aren't going to be super fruitful for them, just because they're time. I don't even think have a Blightstone. They probably double up on the Orb of Venom, but without a Blightstone, just right-clicking towers is just going to take forever. No medallion for Roshan too, so Virtus.pro are very comfortable with just farming up and doing neutrals, just because they know that Newbee aren't going to waste their time with that. They're just trying to avoid fights, which Newbee are really strong at.
As well as the Bloodstone being done for Mugi, we have a couple of Ignite pickups for VP. Armlet is now complete for no one.
Mana regen, wow. He has mana regen, and he has a Wisp on his team, and he has Soul Ring. It's actually, I usually see the damage talent, especially later on combined with the attack speed talent. At level 25, 140 attack speed is no joke. And a lot of these games have gone pretty long, so you can, and he's a core, so he's more likely to get 25, and he's going to fight us.
A Radiant using Echo.
I mean, I think if you're VP, you are happy sort of drawing it out and playing for the farm game with this lineup, with this Ramses fan, numerous ways you can buff them up as you can manage them with the Bloodlust and the Tether.
Kaka knows that I'm not, they had the VP scan, so they know that Newbee are there, but with the way he's positioned,
bottom tower is under attack. Radiant thinks fortification can save them.
Hiding
Radiant's bottom tower faces a stiff
Rain, KP, SCCC will take it all.
Solo.
Tries for the warding, and he will pay for it. Quickly dispatch of the Ogre.
And a D-Ward. No, that's so much of his net worth.
D-Ward and a Bloodstone charge for Mugi. Fresh off the picking it up. Ramses and Lil trying to get something achieved on the top lane. Dragon Tail just to hold back this Timbersaw. No one, of course, no intentions of fighting Mugi at this stage, but Mugi certainly wants to fight him, chasing him down. Kaka closing the gap. The Chakram into the Burrow Strikes there. No one is going to almost certainly go out of this one. He tried to arm the toggle, but the Fiend's Grip holds him in place. He's gone. Pasha commits the ult, but has to just run away. He cannot fight on his own against this lineup of Newbee. They're looking to try and chase him, see if they can get him post-ultimate, and with KP TPing in for the cutoff, they may just do it. No, it's quick with the blink. Pasha will keep himself safe.
Mugi was really slow throwing out the shotgun. You want the shotgun right on top of the Earth Spirit when it's about to expire, but at the same time, Pasha's going to go that stuff. Or sorry, KP managed to escape up too during that whole time.
Full stack done now as well for KP, so a little more elusive and harder for VP to trap down in these fights. Just having that saves for whoever gets changed under. We've seen Newbee's best way of making the plays have been with the stun and the DK stun. If you've got any sort of 4-star just to take or rip that hero away from the spend, hammering into them, you are going to buy time for Queen of Pain to get his blink off, for Timber to get the Timber chain off, the Burrow strike to come out. These sort of 4-star plays could be crucial for Newbee in these fights.
And they're also making up for the other weakness and not being able to take objectives. So you do see the Timber Saw actually go for the Medallion. He's likely going to replace that later, but it's at least they realize that a weakness is like, how are we going to do Roche? We have a really big lead right now, but we can't actually do anything with it. So now they're trying to change that right now. And Roshan is still going to be pretty tough for them, but certainly doable, I would say, at this phase, especially with Nature Prop. Nature's probably the best hero to keep taking down Roshan. Timber Saw's all right.
And as we've been saying, they have got such great team fight to utilize around these enclosed areas like the Roche pit. And for VP, it's a little harder. They need to make sure that they have the ult from the Panda to really do anything major. They do have the blink on Ramses. That's certainly going to make things a lot easier if they can get the jumps onto sort of the more glass cannon-y heroes like the Queen of Pain at this stage before the Sonic Wave gets blown.
At least they can just itemize for sure.
Look at this stat, man. Poor record, one last hit, bless him. He's getting more now though. That stat, I'm afraid that's outdated. We're gonna have to get that one updated now. So and he just tripled his CS in the last few seconds.
4 CS, you see that?
Here we go.
Getting out of control.
Ramses will be saved. Lil's there with the quick relocate.
They were even looking for the Wiz too with the way that they were positioned.
They were trying to make sure that they could grab him as well as Ramses. They should be able to get him on the way back in as Lil get himself out of this. No, gets stunned up by the Burrow strike, cut down, another Bloodstone charge for Mugi.
So do they want to do Rogue right now?
I could try. As you said, it's not going to be the quickest, but it is going to be pretty safe in terms of not taking any damage with the Treants tanking it up. They've got a fantastic ward as well to spot out any sort of action that starts going. In fact, look at it, they've got 3 observer wards kind of in between VP and themselves. This is very hard for VP to make any sort of gap closer on. So it's a very, very safe Roche attempt. They go for the smoke, but they see it. These wards paying off, and immediately Newbee, they know that they can't mess around. They can't race and take down Roche at any sort of speed, so they get away. This smoke, unlikely to achieve anything for VP, and in fact, whoa, Kaka, very quick with the blink. He was ready for that one. Gets himself out of the hands of Ramses. Now Kaka wants to go back in. Leads him with the Burrow strike. Pasha jumps forward with the clap. Defensive nightmare buying some time for Kaka. Will it be enough to get him out of there? No. Cut down by Ramses. VP find one and then move on for a second. The stun's there onto Fade. He can't get the Fiend's Grip out. He's gone. Kaka buying back. Newbee really wanting to try and take this fight, even though this ult being out on the Panda makes it very hard for Newbee to actually get in on this. They get a held back by the Cyclone. Solo's still there. Oh, they'll get the Panda immediately with the stun. Kaka does catch him. Pasha's not going to be able to TP out. The buyback paying off in that sense, that they do get the Panda kill. They go back into Roshan, and with 1 man down on VP and God's Strength, the ult's being used by VP. It makes it hard to go.
Rune. Oh my goodness, they don't have sentries.
Oh, is he going to go for a snipe? Oh, no, they got the dust. They're prepared. The dust is out. Newbee see him. Sonic Wave as well. No one is gone.
Oh. I thought he was going to make a big
I think, was he underneath that? Yeah, they did see him.
I still like to the dust on him though. Why would you have a dust? You don't even have any of this heroes.
That is true, yeah. MVP whoever had that dust, I'll tell you what. But they get the kill, they get the Aegis.
Bane had a sentry, to be fair, but yeah, Kaka had that dust. Maybe he expected like a Shadow Blade pickup from Dragon Knight. Maybe he like wanted to kill the Invis Brew if they killed other ones. But I mean, these are very far-fetched situations though. Having a dust right there is just inconceivable almost.
Very commendable play. And because if they didn't have it, no one would definitely have a high chance of
sentry on Bane,
it
but it was... I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they popped that. But still, even just the foresight to have popped down a sentry at the end of that Roche would have been, as you say, not necessarily likely because of...
It was still really funny. He's like, oh man, I'm going to make this big play. And he's dust.
Newbee, ready to push down mid.
Radiant's middle tower
God's Strength as well as the Dragon Form back online if you do want to take a fight. 17 charges on this Bloodstone, Solo Crest, Aegis on Mugi. He's very hard to go on. They have to go around and get to the backlines, and that's exactly what they're doing with this smoke. Jump onto Fade. Bane in trouble, but I say that Kaka comes in with a good burrow strike, but Bane is still surrounded. He'll get taken down. Mugi's trying to turn. Chakram onto 2. Jump forward from SCCC. Pasha comes in with the ultimate. He's looking to focus down the Queen of Pain, keep SCCC out of the fight, but he gets forced back. Buys him time to get the blink off to the side. Mugi on the front lines as Kaka comes back in with the burrow strike onto Ramses. Popping the war cry, looking for a target. They'll burrow down the dust. They have the vision onto Kaka. He cuts into it with the God Strength. Ramses picks up the SK kill. Now he's been sprouted. No way to get out the tree line to now. Now he's able to cut through. VP take a 3rd kill out the back of this. Mugi thinking about trying to get something in return. He's eyeing up Lil. Stick charges are there. Lil tethers across. They won't catch the IO. He's deep, but VP, they're just ignoring this Timber. They're going for everyone around him. The stun from Ramses is there. They've got the perfect control to get the kill onto SCCC. Mugi gets out, but VP, they played that fight absolutely perfectly. They just ignored the Timber, went behind him, and for the entire fight, Mugi was trying to say, look at me, but VP, they just kept their eyes averted and looked elsewhere.
There's so many issues with that fight for Newbee. Firstly, they give the Aegis to Mugi, which is just not.
He doesn't need
He's not going to die. We saw the sun hitting him, he did almost no damage, and then Raven's like, okay, I'm not even touching him the rest of the fight. Secondly, they didn't kite the Brute. I mean, that is just generally the best solution to deal with.
He's a little out on his own. I don't know if Armor's going to be enough to save him. Lil tries for the save. It's not quick enough.
That's 2 bloodstone charges for Mugi. And I think he also needs to itemize it against the Cyclones, which would help a lot. I'm not sure if you notice the Cyclone, because I know Cyclone lasts longer on non-hero units. So I'm not sure that'd be pretty successful.
Might see it coming to late.
Yeah, maybe it is.
But as you say, we're still pretty early on in the game. 22 minutes in, 15 to 11. Newbee still having the advantage and are taking objectives. Top lane, Pasha's in trouble. He's going for the TP out, and he will make it. Don't have any sort of way of holding him back. Some very close fights indeed. Overall, Ramsey still in the lead with the net worth. 12,000 on him at the moment, and BKB very close to being done. That will cause a lot of issues for Newbee's lineup. Very reliant on the match, but they've got ways to disable him through it. Again, we saw before how much a Bane can do.
He just needs Timbersaw to kill the Wisp. Maybe even get a Blink Dagger on him. He needs a lot of things. I actually don't think he needs more armor. He's actually going for Shiva's guard. He has incredible. He's 43 without full reactive, and then he's going to have more from Shiva's. Yeah, they're not going to focus him. As we saw from last fight, they're not really going to focus him. I guess maybe you can get lucky with some God Strength Cleaves later on and burst him down when he gets reactive, but that's also really far-fetched. I think you just go for the most likely scenario, which is you getting kited and then play around or build around that rather. So I'm not a huge fan of the Shiva's build, but we'll see how it plays out. I'd be a much bigger fan of like BKB, so you can use it during the ulti, and just, or you can get a Blink Dagger to do a lot of damage up front onto the Wisp, and if you get Cyclone, you can blink out a Cyclone too. That's one of the great parts about the Blink Dagger in this game too.
Ramsey does have backup. This is there from Solo, speeds him out. Ramsey thinking about turning, jumps in immediately again. They just ignore the Timber, straight in onto KP, who gets forced back. Solo Crest on him as well. It's going to be enough to save him. No, Ramses gets the cleave hit, takes down the Nature's Prophet. The Fiend Script was there onto the eye. They have managed to find a trade, but overall VP coming in thick and hard. Sonic Wave from SCCC, bursting them down low. Ramses trying to find Faith. The stun control comes out. Double kill for Ramses. He's 2 for 2 at the moment. He'll look towards the shrine. Ramses still standing pretty strong, but the controls there from Newbee. They cut him down post BKB. The magical's too much for this fan, and now Pasha could be in trouble as well. He goes for the TP. Kaka not quite the resources to get out another stun. So he'll escape, but again, Newbee getting some very good fights, fighting nicely around the BKBs as well. You saw again, VP, they have good intentions. They jump in on the back. They do get the KP kill straight off the bat. But that's the BKB commitment, and the rest of Newbee's team very good at keeping the distance with these heroes like the Timbersaw and the Quap, and then coming back in at the opportune time.
They actually use grip on the Wisp that fight. That's how, when there's a BKB strategy, that's how important this is to Rd2's now. So Newbee should continue to try and prioritize the Wisp, even if it does mean expending grip. And Rd2, they have to protect the Wisp a little bit better and get no one a BKB.
The seeds of fortune.
He actually, does he have, okay, yeah, he just picked it up actually. So this is a good time for them to make a play. They smoked out a base. Or is, they don't want to give up this next Roche, but you don't want to find Timber.
Nope.
I think even if you find him with no reactives, he's very, like, things could just go so poorly. And he does have reactive. He doesn't have BOTs though, so if they take a fight this far south, it could be a good play for them. But ideally, you want to find Quap. Quap is just going to get blown up super easy. Quap does not have enough armor.
I mean, she's got the Lincolns, makes it a little more difficult in terms of stun control. And in fact, they're going to find Solo here. They'll take him down. Lil will bring no one in for this.
What? It's just a DK. He doesn't have that many items.
They're trying to fight. I mean, Newbee will probably be happy to play around with this. Patch comes in. Ramses is there now as well, though. He has the God Strength. They force back the Quap. The Linker's blocking the stun, allows SCC to DP out in Faith with the Fiend's Grip, but he gets cancelled. Ramses gets the chance to put the BKB. They're turning towards Mugi. Can they bring down this Timber Saw? It doesn't look like they can. He gets himself out to the side with the Medallion buff. He's now looking to turn. Doesn't get the Chakra connection onto no one, but he cuts in low with the Whirling Death. No one trying for the TP out. Knows there's no way of Newbee cancelling it, and he does escape safely.
Wow, whole nine. That's pretty insane. Having a lot of problems protecting their heroes, especially Kaka in particular. So, looks like Kaka is going to go for a Yules. They don't have any Diffusal carriers. The best thing they have is Dispel Magic coming out from the Storm Panda, but he can only do so much in the fight. But they're getting close to big items. Master has been slowly keeping up at net worth too, so despite Dragon Knight being less farmed, he's going to have the Radiance on the Brewmaster to make up for his damage. That's going to be big for them, especially because they've itemized heavy armor. You want magic damage to hopefully kill the Timber Saw. Great Link is here, pick up 2. Great versus Dragon Tail, great versus spend stuff. Wonder if he's going to itemize versus like you can get Bloodthorn and like Blink Bloodthorn and stun, but that's not the easiest to pull off.
Lane.
Oh, he actually just does not care about Cyclone at all. They used Cyclone early on in the fight, last fight to cancel the grip, so he had a little bit of a breather, but I could easily see him getting Cyclone 3 times, just like one of the first fights that we saw.
Rash is very close to having Relic. Just wait to Radiance. Going to add up the overall damage protect. Actually, VP in these drawn out fights that we are starting to see because of the, well, both teams having these tanky beefy cores that can withstand a lot of damage over time. 28 minutes, still Newbee with the overall lead, but Ramses sitting strong at the top. 15k net worth. No slowing down in the pace of this man's farm. Crystalis is in his backpack, ready to go for the next fight. Get a good stun. We've been saying as long as it's not onto Mugi, they have a very good chance of just taking out a hero straight away from the team fight. The damage that Sven can kick out with a few crits.
And just to illustrate the damage from the heroes, like Timbersaw, he's versus 4th heroes. He's the highest right now, but I think he's supposed to be way higher than 16.1k. And Sven, they're doing a very good job of cutting Sven through the evasion, through the Force Staff, through the Blink Daggers, Sleep Grip. So Sven, he's not been doing that much damage. He's a great play, I would say, coming out from him. And Brewmaster was also pretty close too, but he'll be able to come up there. I think he just purchased his Relic. Oh,
he's got the full radius actually.
Yeah, there we go. Great time.
Orchid. CCC, and this will be scanned down.
It could be huge because they could actually.
They know it's there. They know what's going on, Newbee.
Can they be able to go in though?
They're going to put the primal split. Passion's just going to look to try and keep them out on the sideline. Silence there immediately onto Solar. That's going to be the Ogre down. It's falling low. Kaka comes in with a burst strike. Aegis hasn't been picked up yet. It's still on the ground. Roche is alive. No one. He gets the snatch. They did get the kill, Newbee, but no one on the DK. Grabs the Aegis, pops the BKB, trying to fight up against this. Mugi's going to be sent up in air by the primal split. No one and Passion look towards Faith. They cut down the Bane. Kaka coming in, finds the burst strike onto the DK. No one's going to be down once. Silence is there onto the Brew. Passion to fall almost certainly as well. Drunken Ace buys him sometime, but it's not enough. KP and Kakra just toying with Ramses on the back lines away from this whole fight. He's stuck in the Sprout, caught out by the Burrow Strike. Newbee, they take a third. No one does get out on the DK. He did manage to at least make sure that the Aegis didn't go the way of Newbee, but Newbee, they get the benefit of the gold and the experience. They take the team fight. They're now 12k ahead. There's no buyback on Pasha. There's no buyback on Ramses. Newbee, they could get away of easily at least to set in this middle lane if they wish to do so.
Anyone else getting flashbacks? TZ's track.
One. Okay. I mean, he just walks in and cuts down the SK, but yeah, he's got to get out of there. Lil will make sure of it.
He also has cheese too. You can also pass him
The stun onto Mugi.
Without the spin, that's not happening.
Lil is gone. Silence cut down. They really want to try and find this melee racks in Newbee off the back of that fantastic team play. And they should get it. No one has to be careful. There's no IO to back him up. That will be the melee racks down. Moves forward again. See if he can catch anyone on the retreat. Managed to find KP, but the Nightmare is holding him back. Mugi comes across with the shackle. Silence down to Pasha. SCCC ready to turn. Has the silence down onto the Brewmaster. Not quite enough damage to finish him off. Pasha will survive. Gets himself back in range of the shrine. And Newbee, they get that melee racks. They get out, only losing the SK. And they still maintain a hefty lead this game.
Yep, now Mugi's coming into form. He just demolished at that Roche fight so hard. And he's getting there. They just kind of left him alone for the majority of the game and kind of delaying the problem over and over. But
we'll see this Roche again. Three-man burrow strike from Kaka into just a perfect Sonic Wave. And it was a bit of a saving grace that no one is able to pick up the Aegis, but this time, with 2 heroes already dead and Newbee still having a full 5-man, it's just such a hard fight for VP to take.
So a great play from Pasha. He like blinked out of the pit, or he went outside the pit with his Brewlings to try and slow them down as much as possible, but Mugi got vision with the chakram, and after that they just honed in on that kill. So keep in mind, Newbee, they don't have like the best league game. Like, Timbersaw this far is pretty damn good, but they still lack in the physical damage department. But with this sort of lead, I don't really think he's going to part 2. He really need to be more.
I mean, he just doesn't want to die, Ben. And I tell you what, he's not going to if he gets that heart complete. I mean, yeah, 8-0-8 at this moment. He is on par to having a game with a flawless KDA up top. Kaka actually finding the stun onto 2. They are going to look to try and turn. They put the primal split. Dust comes out. Lil will relocate himself out of there. The Fiend Crew comes out to Ramses, but Dragon Tail from no one stops the channeling. They focus down Fave. He's been dusted up. Glimmer Cake by him sometime in the magic resist. He turns with the brain sap, but they'll chase and they'll finish him off. Fave's gone. Kaka comes back in with the epicenter onto Lil. Not enough damage to finish off Io. Ramses looks for the stun, but Kaka Sandstorm, it jukes it out. They don't have any sentry down VP, so they've got to back up. They blink away. Kaka's finding the chase. They cut down Lil. BKB's been popped by Ramses. He's going to wear out soon. He's trying to fight up, but again, he's been sprouted. Stuck in the trees. He'll be cut out of there by Mugi, but it's all good for Newbee as they have the burrow strike. He's down. He has to buy back Ramses as VP are forced back to the base. Again, Newbee taking an absolute storm of a team fight. VP really giving it their all. These fights are so hard to take.
I guess he actually should be worried about that because they have a silver edge now on the DK. They, I think, caught him out with like very low reactive sex because he came down after the Cyclone, so there were no creeps hitting him. And he looked a little bit mortal that fight. A tiny bit.
In this game, despite that 20k gold lead, there definitely still is life left in the fighting power of VP. And it's all about whether Ramses can get the job done. But as you said, with the items in play, it's a hard game for the Sven to really get the chance to beat into anyone.
Yeah, the Sprout alone is already like huge against him. He doesn't have enough room for just a puny little Quelling Blade. He has it in his backpack, but I guess you can BKB and swap it out for to cut down one tree in the fight.
I mean, he's going to need to in some of these cases. He has to.
Yeah.
He wants to get anything done with the timing of BKB and God Strength.
Okay, now Mugi should be
29 Bloodstone charges. Heart, Shiva's Garcilla Crest, it's a dream.
Maybe five heroes on him with a break, with no reactive, and a Bloodthorn to mitigate the evasion.
Okay, maybe at that point.
Maybe.
It's still a maybe. It's not a guaranteed surefire. Kaka. For no one, they have got the Fiend's grip. Pasha has to put the power split, but the Yule sending him up, meaning he can't get the chance to get it out along with the stun. SCCC has the Sonic Wave. They finish off no one. He's down. No buyback available. VP, they have to find some sort of trade off the back of this. They can't let Newbee get away with this one for free, but I don't know if they can actually punish them at all. The silence is down to Solo. SCCC jumps forward, gets the double kill. Lil going over to Ramsey with the tether, but the Burrow strikes through. Lil is down. Ramsey put the BKB, but it's all over for VP. They tap out. GG is called. Newbee take game 2. We're going to a game 3.
Nailed it with a Timber pick.
Absolutely. What a Timbersaw pick, and what a Timbersaw play. He played defensively in terms of his design, but 11-0-11. This has got to be some of the best Timbersaw main stage we've seen in a while. Absolutely flawless from Mugi.
And Newbee also focused down the Wind Panda so that he wouldn't get Cyclone. I didn't really notice that until some of the